Hey, lovelies. Happy Sunday night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am incredibly excited for tonight's chat. I feel like it's time to keep some balance. We're going to get a little real. You guys know I really try to keep a good balance of everything here on my channel. And tonight we're going to be going into that real honest and real relatable part of my tag. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real, real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So you've probably already seen the title of tonight's live, and we're going to be talking about how to stick to your Black Friday budget. I think this is a good one for us all to be talking about right now. Like I said, I'm trying to keep some balance here. We love talking about the new. We love talking about launches, new releases, sales, getting a good deal. But here we are to help keep each other accountable and in check. So I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Jeremy, for hopping on. Aileen, I'm so glad to see you here. We have Tori and we have Tammy. Hey, Liz. Hey, Locke. It's so funny. I think I've said this before, but I'm totally aging myself here. But every time I do this, I think of was it Romper Room, where it's like you got the mirror and it's like I see Liz and I see Jeremy. So it's so funny every time I give some shout outs. I just always feel like that. Now, I am really glad to see all of you here because I do truly want this to be a collaborative conversation tonight. So I definitely have some bullet points that I want to go over, some of the tips and tricks that I find that sort of keep me in check, and lessons learned. I think we can all relate to each other on that. But I definitely want to open up to some conversation at the end to hear all of your tips. Everybody in the live chat tonight, if you have anything that I don't mention, if there's anything that you have to add to really help all of our community out, that would be great. So how is everybody doing tonight? Happy Sunday night. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend. I have to say, Jeremy and I have had a lazy morning and a busy afternoon. We kind of slept in, hung out, made breakfast, and then kind of spent the afternoon just really trying to get some things done to sort of make our home feel a little comfortable. So I am so excited to get to hang out with everyone. Oh, I see people talking about my lipstick. This is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Cinnabar. I had to pull her out. It's total fall vibes. I know if Kara from Beauty and the Frizz comes in, I feel kind of bad because I know she's a little sad she's missed out on that one right now. So I'm hoping there's a restock in the future because this one is gorgeous. And I just want to give a shout out to Liz because she definitely helped me through my Lisa Eldridge lipstick purchases, decisions, all of that. So I really love this one. I was like, yes, tonight I'm pulling it out. I'm going to celebrate with Lisa. So I am excited again to share with you tonight, but I do just want to make a disclaimer. This is a no judgment zone, right? We all know we are beauty lovers and we're all working towards being better, and we all have different goals, right? So, and we all have different budgets, let's be honest. So I just want to say here, this is a safe space. So we're just going into this with tips and tricks and advice on helping each other stay in check. And, I was talking to my friend Stephen Ford, and we were talking about how just like anything else, it's something that you have to practice. It's a muscle you have to keep working on to, really get it built up. So we are striving for progress, not perfection, but I do think that we can all help each other out. And like I said, I am definitely someone who loves a good sale. I love a good splurge. I also love forgetting to turn the notifications off on my phone. Okay. I love a good splurge every now and again. And, I think that there are those times that we see things that entice us and that we want to have in our collection. And there's nothing wrong with that. But with sales and deals flying at us left and right this time of year, and also just seeing everybody else and the things that they're getting, there's FOMO in action. So it's sort of like that fear of missing out, that fear of not getting a good deal, or that high of yes, I just got this for, 30% off. So we're here to sort of round all of that up. All right. So, hey, Kara, I was just telling everyone that I sort of felt a little bad for wearing Velvet Cinnabar tonight because I know you got that one on your list, but it's going to be my new fall and winter fave. All right. So here we are going to start out with some of my tips and tricks. And like I said, I am so glad that we're going to be having a conversation in the chat. And then at the end, I would love to open up the floor to share some of your advice as well. So the first one is list your goals. And the reason I say this is because those goals might be different to everybody. Like right off the bat, do you have a dollar budget that you want to stick to? Do you have goals? Like last year, I know towards the end of the year, I was like, okay, 5 products that I'm saying no to for the rest of the year. So maybe that's it for you. Maybe you're looking at your collection and you're like, I don't need any more lipsticks. Or, wow, I just saw my skincare hoard and I really, I really am not needing any more moisturizer. So whatever that could be. Or it could be, are there certain brands that you are wanting to try? Are there certain formulas? Like, let's say you're like, yep, I have never tried a cream blush and I really want to snag a cream blush. Or you realize, I have tried some cream products and I'm not getting drawn into those sales. I'm only getting powder blushes. I see here Aileen is saying, this is a great goal, Aileen. I'm only purchasing from brands who never have sales, which is totally valid because, right, this is not the only time of year that brands have sales. So definitely keeping that in mind. So whatever that goal is for you, just have that at the top of your list. It's almost like your shopping mantra, right? If you have that at the forefront of your mind, it'll be there and you'll be able to go into the Black Friday sales with that, that mindset. All right. So this one seems pretty like straightforward. Make a list. And I know that we all have carts made up or wish lists made up right now. I'm not talking about just that. I'm saying like write down a list because you can put it, first of all, it'll help you keep organized. So you can put your brand or your site, like if you're going to be, I don't know, shopping the Nordstrom site or something like that, or if you're just going to be, shopping, let's say the BK Beauty site. So make it by the brand or the site and then put your item, but then I want you to put the regular price and the discounted price. So think to yourself, all right, would I buy this at regular price? Or am I just drawn to the deal of that price? Like if I saw this, would it be something that I would at some point buy regular price? And that doesn't necessarily have to mean that, that is the only time that you should buy it, but maybe it's like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted this, but there's no way that I could spend that price. So this is going to make it more special for me. So it's just a way to start looking at the things that are on your list. So the other thing that I encourage you to do, and when I talk about this, I'm thinking about like single shadows, or, if you have a couple items that are the same product, but different shades, list those items on those different sites in the order of priority. So if you are planning on getting 10 single shadows from Divina, list them in order of priority. Or if you are wanting to get a couple of the Pat McGrath blushes, list them in order of priority. Because what that will do, because we all know, sometimes when you're like adding to cart, some things sell out really fast. And I see somebody talking about like Terra Moon. That's Amanda talking about Terra Moon. So if you think about like some of these brands, especially some of the indie brands that their stock goes out really fast, what starts to happen is you lose one of those shades that you can't get. And then sometimes we almost have like sorrow buying where it's like, oh no, I can't get that shade. Well, now I'm just going to buy 2 of these other ones instead. And, I encourage you to look at the priority list. And if you're like, okay, well, but I did get 3 out of the 4 that were on my list here, and they were all at the top of my list. Like it's really flipping that script to yourself. Like, okay, but I really was able to get a few of these things because I don't know about you, but I have totally done that. The things that were on my list and they were like priorities, maybe they went out of stock. And for me, I can remember the Nabla, those like glowy blush highlighter moments that were on sale in the 21 Days of Beauty. When I went on the site, they were already out of the 2 shades that I had planned on getting. So like a fool, I ordered 2 other random shades because I was like, well, fine. And, sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes I'm tricky like that because if something is out of stock and I know it's available in store, you can get that color, like get a different color online and then go to the store and return it for the shade that you wanted when stock kind of comes back. But like, I don't think Ulta carries Novelette in store. So that wasn't going to be an option for me. It was just like, So I was like, fine, I'm just getting these other two. Now I'm lucky because I love the two shades that I ended up getting, but like that would not be happening normally. So just avoid the sorrow buying and be able to look at what is on your list, and that you were able to snag some of the things that you wanted. I am just taking care of some of this stuff going on in the chat right now. I know we've got a couple moderators in here. All right. So the other thing is that I encourage you. I mean, let me look here because I want to see what people are saying here. All right. Yeah, we have some people. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has sorrow shopped. See, I told you this was going to be a real relatable night for all of us. Hey, Lisa, thank you for hopping on. Hi, Stephen. All right. Thank you so much. I can't tell who's booted out. I just see the beautiful comments that were made. Okay. So the next thing is I encourage you to shop your stash first, right? Look through what you have. And the best way to do that is to have that list and then be able to look and say, okay, I had A and B on my list, and do I have things that are similar already? What is going to make this a fulfilling purchase? Is it that it's a different shade than what I have? Is it a different formula? And it might even just be like, heck, I just love the packaging on this. And none of these are necessarily like wrong answers, right? It's just making sure that you check your stash to see if you have anything that could still fulfill those needs. And again, this is another one that I just had happen. I talked about this in my fall favorite palettes that I forgot about. So when Natasha Denona Retro came out, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really have a lot of like mauves and berries in my collection. I think I'm going to get Retro. And I don't regret Retro as a purchase because it is a beautiful palette. I love the Natasha Denona mattes. However, when I was searching for this, I think it was a different like eyeshadow palette tag video or something that I was doing, I found my Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions, and I found my Violet Voss, I think it was the Holy Grail palette. And I was like, okay, especially that Mauve Obsessions palette, that is like exactly the vibes of the Natasha Denona Retro. Now, they're not formula dupes, but they are shade dupes. So it was like, boy, I have to say, I really, especially at full price, I probably would not have gotten the Retro palette yet, knowing that I had some of these shades in my collection. So make sure that you're shopping your stash to know that, you don't have something, if that something that you're getting is going to fulfill a different need, a different want. All right. So I would love to know how many of you have started going through your collection to kind of like see, have you started shopping your stash to see if anything on your list is something that you can like check off? I know Kara from Beauty and the Frizz on my Divina swatch video, because it's like you see all these beautiful pretties and she was like, oh, but you know what? Maybe I just need to go through my own collection and swatch, because she said, I'm trying to not get any more singles right now. So she said, maybe I should just swatch some of what I already have, and that will give me that like new feeling, because I bet we all probably have a couple things in our collections that we either haven't touched yet at all or haven't really used a lot, right? So that's definitely one of those things that I recommend, like go ahead and like shop your stash. Oh, see, this is super smart. Okay. So yeah, that's the other thing, duplicates. You can totally end up getting duplicates just by looking at the pretties and like clicking add to cart. So that is super smart. Amanda, I was just saying the same thing, that I need to go through and like sort of like have like a spreadsheet or something to make sure that I'm not getting duplicates. All right. Okay, so here is another one. Don't get fooled by buy one, get one or progressive sales that have like sliding percentages that make you buy more, right? So I'm talking about buy one, get one free, like, or buy one, get one half off. So buy one, get one free is essentially 50% off. We all at the end of the day know the math on this, right? But if it's, let's say, I'm just going to call out Natasha Denona, right? Because we all know that she does the buy one, get one. So if that one palette, though, is what you really, really wanted, and you're just getting that other palette because it's a deal, but it's not a palette that you ever really had on your list, is that really a deal? Because now you're actually kind of still paying full price for that other item if you aren't going to really be using and loving that second item that you're getting quote unquote for free. Or the worst is like buy one, get one half off, because that's really only 25%. And I feel like most brands at some point do 25% off sales. So the other thing is that these brands, like right now, Pat McGrath, she had, I don't think she has it going. No, that is her Black Friday deal where it's like you get 15% off $100 and then, 20% off of more, like, let's say 200. I don't know what the deal is specifically. I'm just kind of like giving an example. And then like, if you spend $300 or more, you get 30% off, right? So this is what brands do to make us add more to cart, right? Because maybe you're at that like $200 point and you're like, oh, but boy, I'm sure there are a couple other things that I could add, and then I'd be at 30% off, right? So if you're just throwing things in your cart to get a better deal, is that really that much better of a deal? Because I know I've fallen victim to that, either to hit free shipping, right? I know we've all done that one where you're like, oh, I'm $12 away from free shipping. Or it's like to get that extra discount. And then is that other thing something I just like randomly added in, especially when it's like crunch time and you feel like you're worried that something's going to sell out. You just like go click. Okay, I'm just adding something. I'll give it to somebody or whatever. So sometimes that can really, be detrimental to our budgets. All right, I'm going to just check the chat here. Love all the conversation. Locke, you're saying you don't like the rolling percent off. Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why you can't reward a customer who is buying $100 as much as you can someone that's buying $200 worth. So that's just one of those things. Okay, so Stephen, I know we've had this conversation. So Stephen said, such a good point. I'm convincing myself to get the Natasha Denona BOGO for the Trio Chrome and a Circo. So sometimes those decisions are valid. And Stephen, I know you love the Natasha Denona formula. And I think most of the time when I see you buy other palette purchases, you're like, this just isn't as good as Natasha Denona to me, right? So that isn't necessarily bad, but it's just making sure that you really think that you'll use those, right? So, like I said, and please know that like these tips that I'm giving out are obviously just that. They're just tips, and you can find one that really speaks to you, and you might find one that's like, Kelly, that doesn't make any sense to me, and that's okay too. And everyone's answers, I think, to some of these questions that I'm laying out are going to be different, right? So that is definitely one of those things. Oh my gosh, Locke, yes. So I love this too. Locke is talking about Millie from Bad to the Brow. So she does a lot of dupe videos with especially the multi-chromes, because truly at some point, most brands have very similar shades or very similar shifts. And so it's making sure that you don't go in and buy a shade that is basically the same exact thing from a different brand. The only time that I would say make an exception to that is if you really love the formula of the other brand more. If you just happen to know that and you're like, okay, well, I know that this Terra Moon shade is something that Davina has, but I like the Davina formula better. Or like, oh, I have this blush, but this cream blush from this other brand is a better formula, So that would be the one time. But oftentimes, especially like once you have a decent amount of makeup, you probably have a dupe laying around somewhere. Not always, but a lot of the time. All right. Tammy said, I get a bit irritated with brands that always have percentage off sales. Why not just have a more reasonable price point to begin with? Yes, absolutely. That's a really good point to bring up, because that is definitely true, where it's like, and I know like So for me, like out of the beauty world, Kohl's like is like that because they always have 10, 15, 20% coupons floating around. So it's like nothing at Kohl's is ever worth the price. Well, honestly, I don't think most of the things at Kohl's are worth the price in general, but like nothing is worth the full price because you can always get a discount. Oh, yes, this one too. I don't like this one. This whole like up to 30% off. So this is what Tori is saying. And you know that the things that you want are 10% off. And especially when brands don't let you know beforehand, like you aren't able to see what's on sale, like you have to wait until the day the sale starts, because that is what encourages like impulse buying, I think, because sometimes I might just be like, well, I really wanted to get it. I was hoping it was going to be 30%, but maybe for 10%, I'll get it anyway. Right. So if you had the time to really think it over in advance, you probably wouldn't go down that road. All right. So here is one. I feel like I'm like cranking through these really fast, but I love that. You guys know I start to get a little sweaty after our lives hit an hour. I'm like, ah! Okay, so here's one that I wanted to talk about. And it's about like how you're planning on purchasing. So I am a huge advocate for purchasing with credit cards when you are earning points, because I pay off my credit card every month. And I actually, I have a cruise line credit card. And I literally Jeremy and I went on a cruise. We went on a 7-day cruise for free because of my credit card points. Now, granted, I had to like stack those up for a long time to get that, but by paying that off every month, I was able to get those points. So I love being able to do that and earn that. But what I'm going to say is I really encourage you to not use credit cards to purchase on Black Friday or around these sale times if you're not going to pay them off, if not immediately, very soon. Because obviously, I mean, interest charges on credit cards these days are 25, 28, like crazy percentages. And you have to realize that sometimes over time, the interest that you pay, if you aren't paying down that credit card, is going to be way more than the discount that you got. So for example, like if you have $1,000 bill and your APR is 20%, technically that means that you will be paying $200 on that $1,000 if you don't pay on that in a year. However, you have to realize that the interest accrues. So you end up paying interest on your interest. So that $1,000 the next month is $1,020. So then the next month you're paying interest on $1,020. And then after that, you're paying on and. So if you use a site that has something like Afterpay, I see Amanda's talking about Afterpay, or something like, is it Klarna is another one. So I know that a lot of brands now have the ability to like split payments up. That's great. But I know that sometimes we can just get like drawn in and then we're like, ooh, especially when we're doing all sorts of other holiday shopping. There's a lot of expenses this time of year. Groceries have gone up astronomically. So if anybody's planning a Thanksgiving meal, we have all these expenses. And sometimes it's like, ooh, the budget's tight right now, but if I just have it on my credit card for a few months, like it'll be fine. So that's just something that I always like to say. And that's just there. So I see that Stephen, no. So I have not shared that yet, Stephen, because that was supposed to be coming at the end of the video. So this is one that Stephen said. He said, did you share my tip to get blackout drunk and sleep through the sales? That is also an option. Although I don't think you said blackout drunk to me, Stephen. So maybe you've like upped the ante. All right, just kind of checking in on what everybody is saying here. Yeah, see, this is same, Tammy. Like I love having those cards that you can earn points on, but obviously it's best if you pay it off every month. Oh, Lisa, I love this. That's great. Like, yeah, if you know that about yourself, that is beautiful. And you're like, okay, I'm using my debit card because this is like money that's coming out right now. And that way I'm not led into temptation. Okay. So we have gone through, I love how now everybody's like, yes, maybe this whole blackout drunk thing is going to be a tip for me this year. Okay. But how we should probably budget in how much alcohol is it going to take to get blackout drunk? That has to get put into the budget. All right. So we have listed our goals, right? We have our paper. We've listed our goals. We've, set our list out. We have everything tallied up. So you see the sale price, you see the regular price, and you've really looked at everything. So, maybe kind of go back through and say, okay, well, this is one that I probably don't need. This is one that, I really want to have. So now what I want you to do is tally up your total. And this is something that is so easy to get away from because especially I've noticed right now that all of these brands are doing sales on different days. So let's say, like I've seen some that are on Wednesday, I've seen some that are on Thursday, some that are on Friday. So, maybe you spend $50 on Wednesday and you spend $150 on Thursday, and then you spend $500 on Friday, whatever. It's so easy when it's broken up to not see it as a big picture. So I want you to just tally all of that up and see what that total looks like. So how do you feel? How do you feel when you see that number? Do you feel like, yeah, that's right around where I want to be? That's acceptable to me. Do you need to go through and do you need to pare down your list a little bit more? Like maybe you go through and you find the brands that have sites more frequently. Like there are definitely sites, and I've seen some of these sales so far. Like there are some of these sites that maybe like it's like a 5% difference, or they definitely still have these same deals at other times. Or it's like buy one, get 50% off, which is 25%. Other times they have just 25% site-wide. So make sure that you like go through and you're like, okay, this is one that I can give up. This is the one that I want to keep. So after you have that, what I encourage you to do is look at that number and think, are there other ways that you would rather spend some of that money? Right? The answer might be no. You might be like, nope, I am totally ready to cash in at that value. But maybe you look at that and you say, wow, I could take a day trip with my partner, with a friend. We could go hang out somewhere cool. That would be my gas money, our meals, whatever. Maybe it's just like a coffee date with friends. Maybe that's going to be a down payment on a car or money towards a down payment on a car. Maybe for me, like literally after the very first time I went on, I know I was just talking about a cruise. I love going on cruises because like everything is literally taken care of for me. I do not have to worry about where I'm eating. I don't have to worry about anything. And I buy everything ahead. Again, budgeting. I get all the excursions and everything ahead of time. So it's all like out of my brain. But after the first time I did that, I measured everything by cruises. So I saw a pair of shoes and I'd be like, okay, 5 of those pairs of shoes. Well, okay, I don't really spend that much on shoes, but like 5 pairs of shoes is that vacation. Or I'd be like, well, I really want to get, this $500 item, but that's like a third of a cruise. Do I really like, it's a third of a vacation, So for me, you could find those things that it's like, okay, would you rather spend this money towards these other things? Maybe so, maybe not. And I definitely know, like I've got things in my cart right now that I'm looking at and I'm like, nope, these ones I definitely feel strongly about. Like I am really excited to get these. And then maybe there are a couple other things that it's like, I can put that money towards this budget over here. Oh, Adam, you say that you think of what else you could do if you don't spend the money. I think that's really healthy. Like, and sometimes you might decide to make the purchase and sometimes you might decide to sock it away. Okay. So here is one thing that I want to say. You have this list, right? So you've made your plan. So either you are going to hold yourself to this and you are going to stick to it as best as humanly possible, right? Or if if you want that little extra like wiggle room, give yourself a bonus budget. And by the way, a bonus budget is not equal to the amount of your other budget, but give yourself some fun money. Say, okay, I'm allocating another X dollars aside for something fun that comes up that I didn't see, right? So let's say you're scrolling the gram during the sales and you see a brand that you kind of forgot about and you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing a 30% off site. I just remembered that I've always wanted X. And then you decide that that's what you're going to spend your bonus budget on, right? Because it's technically been budgeted in, that money you've allocated in your budget, but it's fun money. And you don't have to spend all of that fun money, certainly, but you can spend that. So if you do find that you are an impulse buyer, I recommend right off the bat, setting aside some impulse fun money so that way you still get to have that fun last minute, like surge of excitement, right? Where you're like, yes, I got this deal. So then you can go ahead and have that already budgeted in. And obviously, I know that we're talking about like beauty and makeup right now and skincare and, you know, all of those things, but this could certainly go towards anything else that you're planning on shopping for Black Friday. This could be just gift giving in general. This could be if you're looking for housewares, if you're looking for, you know, some of these things, I feel like all of these tips, I mean, even honestly, some of the shopping your stash, right? Especially if you're looking at clothes or, you know, some housewares, it's like, okay, do I really need a new one of those? Or did I just get drawn in? Because for me, like kitchen stuff totally like draws me in because I love cooking, Jeremy, and I love cooking. And sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, it would be so nice to have a new whatever, or wow, that, you know, coffee maker is like really a good deal. I'm going to get that. Plus it's cute. And it's like, you already have a working coffee maker, Kelly. You don't need to do that. I've literally done that. And then that other coffee maker, I just give it out to another coffee lover. Stephen, thank you so much. You are so sweet. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you, my friend. Hey, Natalia. So the other thing that I want to say, and it's a little late to the game at this point, but maybe you decide to do this through December. So some of you know because I've talked to you. Hey, Conley. Some of you know because I've talked to you about this, but in the month of November, I made a goal for myself. I just sit down if you aren't already. I made a goal for myself to not buy coffee outside of my home on days that I was working. So to only have fun money towards coffee on my days off. And if you know me, you'll know that probably 99%, let's say 80%, I'm going to give myself a little wiggle room. 80% of the time when I'm on my way to the salon or, you know, doing something for work, I am stopping to get myself a coffee. I have a lot of times that I stop and get another one. They know me by name. They usually know my order. So I was doing no coffee out on days that I was working. And I wanted to leave a little wiggle room there to still be able to treat myself on my days off. I also have not purchased any food out for the whole month. So no dining out, no stopping for snacks, no nothing, no smoothie in the morning because I didn't take the time to make myself breakfast or whatever. So I am thinking like just how much money that saved me in this month is probably, I don't want to call myself out on how much I spend on coffee, but it's probably close to what I'm going to spend on Black Friday, right? Hey, Natalia, I think I said hi, Natalia, out loud, but she said she's driving. So I just wanted to make sure to say hi. So maybe you could set yourself up a baby goal, right? You don't have to go like all in like I do. But maybe you set yourself up a baby goal for December. So if there's I don't want to say frivolous, if there's an extra little way that you usually spend money that you could like reel some of that back in, maybe you choose to do that in December, right? And especially in the gift giving season, that's something that I think we all can do is spend a little bit less money on ourselves so we can spend more on the people that we care about. So that might be, like I said, maybe you're used to going out for dinner on Friday and Saturday nights and you choose to only do it on Friday night. Maybe you still go out to dinner, but you don't have a cocktail, right? So some of those things, that is definitely something that I would recommend is just kind of like seeing if there's ways that you can like pare down your spending for a little while. And I will say that what I have realized through this month, I drink way too much coffee, and I don't need the size of coffee that's as big as my head. So I definitely know that when I am going back to purchasing coffee, I probably won't grab the bathtub size every day. The other thing is like, I can totally make myself coffee in the morning, or I can totally just plan most of my meals, right? So it's, that 21 days of that habit I've built in now. I feel like, okay, I'm realizing that I maybe don't need to order lunch as much as I do, or, some of those things. So sometimes it's actually a benefit to you in the long run. All right, I'm just going to check on the chat here. I've got a lot of my fellow coffee lovers in here like, gah. Yeah. Yes, Stephen, I'm so proud of you because I know you've really been doing well with that. Thank you, Aileen. I appreciate the props. Okay, so I hope that you have all found some value in the tips that I brought to the table. So I would love to hear, what do all of you have? Is there anything that you're like, this is what I found that really helps keep me on track? I'd love to know if you have some things that help you keep on your budget. And I'm going to kind of check here. Yeah. All right. So I see this one up here. Liz said, skincare and indie nail polish is my current Black Friday downfall. Although I think my skincare hoard might finally be keeping me from buying more. Liz, let's hold each other accountable to that one, because I am there with you. I am there with you. What was it the other day? Oh, I just did an Ulta purchase during their Black Friday last night. I think I shared it on my Instagram that I was going to get one of those little fragrance samplers as a gift. And Liz, I know we were just talking about Kiehl's too. So they had my Ultra Repair Cream with sunscreen. And I was like, what? How did I not know about this? It's on sale. And I like added it. And I was like, okay, you were just telling Liz that maybe you don't need to buy the bathtub size anymore. And you also have 75 moisturizers here that you need to go through. Not 75. That's crazy. But if you guys saw, I got the advent calendar from Yes Style, and actually Stylovana is sending me some skincare to try out. So I'm like, you don't need to be buying anything right now, Kelly. You don't need to be buying any more skincare other than like, the ones that I used up. Like I bought my vitamin C in the Sephora sale. So it's like, definitely, I think we all can find like one thing that it's like, okay, this one, I just need to like cut out. I need to go cold turkey on this one item, whatever it is, mascara, if it's lip balm, any of those things. All right. Oh, Amanda, I love this tip. So Amanda says, putting only a certain amount of money on a prepaid card to shop with. I don't like using my debit card on a lot of sales. Yeah. And I know a lot of people like with internet and tech and all of that stuff right now, they're like, I'd rather just have something that's like not anonymous, but a little more separated. That is really great. Oh my gosh, Stephen, this is another one. This does not just apply to Black Friday sales. This is like an all the time, right? Stay off your phone when you're emotional. Also, I think this sort of is an emotion, but like, stay off your phone when you have FOMO for a certain item that you can't get, or like that's sold out or whatever it is. Like I said, it's sort of that like sorrow buying. Just like, don't replace that with spending money somewhere else. Like, think of it as like, okay, that's like a little savings. Because I know I've definitely been guilty of that. All right. Yeah, here we go. This is another one. Like, this kind of falls into that, like, is there something else that you'd rather spend your money on, right? So if you have kids, ask them for their Christmas list, and I promise you your priority list will change. Yeah, especially when you have kids that start to be your kids' age, Aileen, because I feel like as the kids get older, the like gifts start getting more and more pricey. All right. Lisa's saying that you're probably not going to be like getting backups until like the next round of sales. That's good. I I think I told you guys, I've got so many things backed up in here that I was totally a sucker for buying because, and I think it's totally fine to have a backup of certain things, but like I literally have like 2 backups of some things that you don't use a lot. You don't use a lot of, like this Maracuja Miracle Mist. I think I have like at least 2 of these back there. This I don't go through that often because I also use other things. The other danger that you run into is if you buy too many backups, you might find that you love something else more by the time that you use that thing up, like with foundations, things like that. Like for instance, the Changemaker, the Bite Changemaker foundation was on sale. It was like discounted, and then you could have gotten the extra 20% during the Sephora sale. And I was really tempted to buy another Changemaker because that's in my, like, definitely in my top 5 foundations. But I was like, okay, but is it always going to be? Like, you have 2/3 of a tube, Kelly. That's going to last you a long time since you have other foundations in here. Like, slow your roll. Unless you're going to be doing like body art, you're not going to be going through that anytime soon. Especially because I also have a feeling, just because of like Bite's formulations, that maybe those products were a little closer to their expiration date. I don't know. Maybe they're just reformulating or something. But I was like, there's probably a reason why this is on sale. All right. Oh, I like this. All right. Yes. Okay. We've got so many good things in here. So where was that? All right. So we have, yeah, don't go on the website just to see if it's sold out. I've definitely had that because there are those times where like randomly, like either something pops back in and then you like, ooh, or like you go on and then you just end up buying other stuff. Yes. A lot of people are saying I have to turn my phone completely off. This is super smart, Adam. I don't allow myself to buy anything after 8 p.m. That way I can't use tiredness as an excuse for not thinking the purchase through. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I think that, you know, having a list right now for what you want to get, even if you don't know what the sales are going to be yet, because some brands like haven't announced what they're doing yet, like have the items that you're super interested in listed out so that you know that those are the only things that you're going to be looking at, right? Yeah. And then Adam said, or I try to do this anyway. Well, we're all about the trying. That's all we can all do. Hey, Maria, thank you for hopping on. Yes, this is perfect. Liz, I love this. If you don't have kids, make the list for people you do want to buy for. My mom's wish list is more than my makeup budget. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Amanda, I know you said that you like this one too. I got it in pop-up the last time it was in. That's how I got mine too. Yeah. All right. Well, Stephen, you're better than I am. I am definitely a backup purchaser. It's crazy. Oh, I mean, yay and boo, Tori. I don't really know. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for hopping on. We are just, we're just sharing. I shared all of my tips and tricks for sticking to a Black Friday budget. Jen, do you have any that you would like to share here? I'm going to like kind of catch up on all these comments. Oh, okay. Let's see. Liz has this. I also remember someone saying to set a threshold for anything non-essential, which, let's be honest, everyone, I feel like most of these things are non-essentials. Like, you know, sunscreen, yeah, cleanser and moisturizer, yes, right? But that even some of that gets to be a little bit wiggly. So yes, a non-essential. Make yourself wait a day. Yeah, and another threshold, that's a 3-day wait. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Basically, you should not do anything after taking Ambien. I've never done that, but I know I know I've heard of some crazy things. Yes, or Xanax too. Oh, yeah. Here's the other thing. And Stephen, I think we've probably all done this. Maybe on the day, don't open your emails on Black Friday. Like, because I know that I definitely have brands that I've maybe purchased from once or like somehow got my email and they come in, they're like, oh, hey, big sale. And if you weren't planning on purchasing from that brand, don't even click on that. Don't even click on the email and don't click to go to the site. All right. What's Aileen saying here? Aileen, I remember you saying this. So Aileen said she gives herself a deadline during the VIB sale. If the Dyson Airwrap was available the last day of the sale, you'd get it. And then if it was sold out, then it wasn't meant for you to have. Because let's face it, if you could wait that long, did you really, really need it or want it? I'm curious though. Was it sold out? I don't even know. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer, trust me, none of us are perfect. Most of us are not are not even close to perfect. We're just trying to be a little bit better. Oh, right. Yeah, that's when you start to realize it's like, oh, I must have done a few purchases when I've got this cardboard city in my basement. So I'm curious. Are you all like, are you go out to the store shoppers or is everybody doing like cyber shopping? Because I think it's so much easier to add extra to your virtual cart than it is when you're like in an actual store. That's for me because we're not going to take the time to like keep walking around and milling about. So I find that for me, I definitely add more like when I'm virtually shopping. Oh, it was sold out, Aileen. You didn't get it. You're not even mad about it. That's okay. That's awesome. All right. I have had so much fun talking with all of you about this. I think, again, I hope that this was like helpful in some way or at least encouraging. We can all be cheerleaders to each other. You can come back to this video the night before the sales start, listen to it sped up just to like rah-rah yourself. I know that I definitely, I still have to write out some of my lists and I'm definitely going to be paring some things down. And honestly, when we were talking about that whole like looking at your stash, I actually, and I know somebody was talking about Millie's video. So we know that the Cleona sale went on and Cleona is one of those brands that really doesn't go on sale that often. So I was like, yes, Cleona is priority. But honestly, I went through my shadows and I think I watched Millie's Cleona swatch video. And I was like, all of the shades that I was drawn to are ones that I already had, or pretty much most of them. And I was like, yeah, you don't need to do this. It's silly to buy from a brand just because this is the only time they go on sale. I would rather buy something full price that is going to bring me that extra, like, ooh, I'm so excited about this, than get a good deal on something that I really wasn't all that excited about. So I did not get anything from the Cleona sale. I definitely, especially when it comes to single shadows, I'm like, I have a couple brands on my radar right now. Of course, you guys know my Davina card is probably going to be my biggest purchase. Some Terra Moons. And that's the other thing. Like some of the Terra Moons in the last 2 launches, I did not give in to buying because I was like, they're going to be on sale come Black Friday. I have enough single shadows. It's not like I don't have anything I can play with. So I'm going to wait for a sale. Now, Amanda says she skipped the Cleona. Oh, Tori, I like this. This is super fun. That's great. Festive horse jumps. You're reusing. I love that. All right. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for hopping onto this live and chatting with me. This was definitely a real honest and real relatable, but I definitely know that for me, it was real fun. So I appreciate all of you so much. I really wish you the best in this holiday season. And, I hope that you get some of the things that are going to make you so excited to play with your makeup, have fun with skincare, just be feeling like you snagged some good deals, but really got the things that you had on your priority list. And I can't wait to talk about if we saved money and we didn't spend as much as we could have, about all the things that we're going to use with that money. So thank you all so much. I am going to let you get on with your Sunday night. I appreciate all of you so much. speaking of like, you know, shopping your stash and everything, Kara from Beauty and the Frizz and Kendra Morgan Official and I have our Build Your Own palette coming out next week. It was supposed to be next Thursday, which is of course Thanksgiving Day. So we're going to do it on Wednesday instead. So I just wanted to let you know, if you are an indie singles lover, we'll have our holiday palettes coming to you soon. So maybe that will be more inspo on either shades that you already have in love and you can celebrate, or shades that you want to get. So thank you so much. I am very excited to get to hang out with you more through the holidays. This is always fun for me. I love that we've been having more lives. I appreciate all of you lovelies. It really does mean a lot to me that you take some time out of your day to spend it with me. If you did enjoy this, if you found some helpful tips, please don't forget to give this video a like. And that's it. I'll see you really soon. Bye, everyone.